Business Live today.
Hello and welcome once again. The West Africa Governance and Economic Sustainability in Extractive Areas, WAGES, has organized a public forum to explore innovative approaches for increasing local content in mining areas. Joy Business's Josu was at the forum and has filed the following report.
The forum brought together stakeholders in Ghana, Guinea and Burkina Faso's mining sectors to, among others, exchange ideas on the use of the Mineral Development Fund for sustainable growth in extractive industries. The project is being funded by the Canadian High Commission, World University Service of Canada and the Centre for International Studies and Cooperation at a cost of about $15 million. Speaking to Joy Business, the Canadian High Commissioner to Ghana, Heather Cameron, noted there's a need for host mining communities to benefit immensely from the activities.
The Government of Canada is very pleased to be financing this program. The program covers 3 countries, Ghana, Guinea and Burkina Faso. And in total, the program is about $15 million across the 3 countries over 5 years. Well, we know that the extractive industries, mining in particular, are really important to the economy of all 3 countries and very important to the economy here in Ghana. But there's also a desire to make sure that the economic benefits flow not just at the national level, but also at the local level. And so this program has been designed to help strengthen the connections between local communities, district assemblies, and mining companies working in their areas in order to ensure that there is broader-based growth. Women and youth in particular are better able to benefit.
Spokesperson for the WAGES project, Emilia Ayipio Asamoah, asserted that the project could provide an alternative livelihood for those engaged in galamsey activities and also boost the fight against galamsey.
We've engaged with some of them and we realize that it is not really what they enjoy doing. It is because of the money or maybe lack of readily available opportunities in those communities. That is why some of them engage in that. But the focus of this project is not to curb galamsey, but in a way we are hoping that the initiatives that we would bring will be able to attract the youth in some of those initiatives, and we can support them so that they can move away. But at the policy level, we are working around the Minerals Development Fund Act. I think the representative of the minister mentioned it. The Minerals Development Fund Act has been passed in 2016, and within a year the government was supposed to come up with the regulations for the implementation of the act. That has not been done, I guess, because of transitions and all of that. So what we are looking at doing is supporting that, because by extension, if we are able to get those regulations rolling and the Minerals Development Fund is released and actually being well utilized, and with their plan to support the district staff to be able to manage and plan well, then there can be resources freed up to support these youth and young people.
Now, some importers of petroleum products say moves to clear all the energy sector debts would help turn around their dwindling fortunes. Some of these importers are said to be in financial distress due to the delays by government in clearing debts owed them for products supplied. This development has caused some oil marketing companies and importers to fold up. Government has asked managers of the 10 billion cedi energy sector bond to complete the fundraising exercise within 2 months. Acting Managing Director of Chase Petroleum, Bartholomew Darko, tells Joy Business this couldn't have come at a better time.
Starting from our sister company, that is Chase Petroleum. That is a BDC and that has some debts outstanding from government. Our prayer is that if government will be able to go ahead and then issue the bond, then the debts that we owe the banks will be able to pay it and be in a position to continue our business. The environment will be conducive for all of us, so that we will not continue to incur financial costs by way of interest that we pay to the banks as the debts continue to be outstanding.
Well, still in this space, the Petroleum Commission is urging calm among fishermen and upstream petroleum companies in the various oil fields in the western region. According to the Commission, which is the industry regulator, Ghana can work at maximizing the gains from the fishing and oil industry in a sustainable way. At the ongoing Ghana Oil and Gas Summit in Accra, Acting Chief Executive of the Petroleum Commission, Theophilus Ehiring, assured the Commission is making efforts to maintain a harmonious relationship between the two to generate revenue for the country. There's more in this report.
The source of livelihoods for fishing communities along the coast has been affected to a large extent by the activities of the oil exploration companies ever since oil discovery in Ghana. Following this, there has been a series of engagements between the Ministry of Energy and the Fisheries Commission to have common grounds for all partners and to help sustain fishing activities for the fisherfolk. The Petroleum Commission has once again called for calm between the oil and gas industry and the fisheries subsector. Theophilus Assureng is the acting chief executive of the Petroleum Commission.
As we say, the fishing industry is out there. Their business is to fish, in that environment. Our business is to explore, develop, and produce oil. We can harmoniously coexist by undertaking our operations while they do that. And this has happened in the past, many years. But it's a mindset issue. We think that we must continue to work together. And I gave you examples, for example, in Norway. They have been in production for over 40 years. But their fishing industry is one of the strongest in the world. So the perception that petroleum operations will destroy the industry is not right.
They also outlined some steps the Commission has taken so far to solve the issue between fishermen and partners in Ghana's oil fields.
Actually, one of the industries that has a very high standard of health, safety and environment is the oil industry. And so we dialogue with them. We think dialogue is very important. We continually have discussions with them. If they have issues, we deal with them. There was an issue about the presence of seaweed offshore. One of our partners, Lukoil, together with us, worked with CSRL. A study was done to demonstrate that there is no correlation. And I think that together with the Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, we would have to work together to see to it that the constraints that that industry has are removed.
The 8th Annual Ghana Oil and Gas Summit is a two-day event focused on development of oil and gas in the African region.
Turning to some other news we are following for you, 10 Ghana Youth Entrepreneurship Challenge with close to $20,000 in prizes will commence on Friday, June 23. Qualified applicants of the challenge are expected to pitch their ideas to a panel of judges, after which the winner gets $7,500 for their startup. That sounds very cool. Now, the project is expected to instill an entrepreneurial spirit in students before and after school, and Joy Business is supporting this competition. We have in the studio the CEO of 10 Ghana, Kelvin Peter Tuguba, to throw more light on the program which is taking place tomorrow. And well, first of all, for those who are curious about what 10 Ghana is, what do you do and what inspired this competition?
Right, Darrell, thank you very much. 10 Ghana is a youth, just as you rightly said, is our focus is training the youth to become entrepreneurial. And basically, most of our students, go to school and the universities. After school, they want to kind of go out there and look for white-collar jobs, and which do not exist as we talk now. So what are the alternatives? And this is what we are actually trying to bring on board. So basically, we want to change mindset. We want students to think alternative, that, whilst you're in school, you can think of a business idea and there's a support system that can actually help you propel your business idea to the next level. Okay,
so what preparation has gone into this competition? Who qualifies to be a part of it? And you tell us it's an elevator pitch, so what do you expect of the contestants?
Right. Basically, by 2020, it's projected that out of four people in Africa, 3 are going to be youth, which means that we have to take entrepreneurship very, very serious, because then we're going to have a lot more people who are going to become unemployed. And by becoming unemployed, we know that they're going to be a security threat to these African countries. So what we actually did was that we took this advocacy to the next level by actually funding these ideas, youth who have ideas, to motivate others to also think that direction. So what we've done so far is that on Friday 23rd, that's tomorrow, at Gempa Faculty of Law Moot Court, we are giving away $7,500 to the winner. And not just the money, we're going to give them the training and then the support system to actually grow their business. So now, we started with entries from February ending, and we had over 156 applications from all over, you know, the country, and it's a national event, I should say, all over the country. So out of the 156, we had a team of you know, faculty members coming from various business schools in Ghana, from Ashasi University, from Gempa, from Legon, and wherever, to bring them down to 10. So tomorrow we have these 10 people coming to pitch their business live, you know, to these jury members. Which is an
elevator pitch, and I'm sure people are wondering, what exactly do you require of these contestants?
Right, so basically we want them to be as much as practical, because not just any business idea can actually thrive. We are actually going to put money into these businesses. So what we actually require, that we want to see the doability of this particular, you know, business idea that they are actually trying to put across. So then the judges will be looking at how practical the business will look like when it comes to not just the theory aspect, the business ideas, until you are able to put figures and then probably plan on it. It is in the business.
Okay, so you know, yes, funding has been a challenge for startups, right. And well, there's also the situation where they have the money but they don't know how to use the money, and so then the issue of capacity building comes in. So does it just stop with, I mean, handing them the money to start their businesses?
No, thank you very much, Darrell. We've started last year in November. We had something we call the Dreamer Seminar. The Dreamer Seminar was to prepare their minds towards entrepreneurship. That is one aspect of it, you know. And we brought industry players and a lot more people for them to interact with. You know, you see people on TV all the time. Some will tell you we have over 66 companies and all that, and no student or no youth is interested in the 66 companies. What their interest lies, where their interest lies, is how you got to establish your first company, because that's the difficulty. Anybody can replicate, you know, one company and to get more. So basically, we have a team, a support system, just as I said. So 10 Ghana is a support system. So we have a lot more people from industry players, from finance, different backgrounds, you know, who are actually ready to help these young ones. So for instance, we have somebody like Mr. Sandio Sajiman, who's the advisory board chair. And then this is a man who kind of know the in and outs of businesses. And then when we talk about, we can talk about Dr. Daniel Macaulay of McDan Shipping, who is the patron for 10 Ghana, and we all know what he can actually do. So the support system is there. We are not just going to hand over the money. We are actually going to help them grow the business to the level that we all
$20,000. That's quite a huge sum. Sure. Why are you getting these monies from to support these startups?
Right. I always say, and I always tell my strong team that we actually want to make statements. We don't want to hear people crying that there's no money, and that's the reason why they are unable to kind of bring their dream to reality. You see, so we are just a group of young people, young students, and from different backgrounds. Just as I said, we have other people who have also seen through this initiative.
And they're lending you support. Exactly. So quick one, what impact do you want to make at the end of the day after tomorrow's competition?
Right. Tomorrow is just the beginning. And I say to the youth that you have no excuse to say you cannot start that business. You know, so the impact we actually want to make going forward is that we want more students, more youth to think that direction. So for instance, we open it for the maiden edition is for students across all the, from secondary to tertiary, who have practical business ideas, who actually want to see the dream come to reality. So then we want a lot more people to see that there are avenues that can actually help them realize their dream and going forward.
$7,500. Right. I'd love to have that.
Sure,
and so all the best to all the students who take part in this competition. We'll be there to support. Thanks very much indeed. That was Kelvin Peter Tuguba, he's CEO of 10 Ghana. Now, the Ministry of Trade and Industry says it hopes to complete work on an SME policy by the end of this year. The policy is expected to introduce measures that would boost operations of small and medium enterprises in the country. The Director of Value Chain and Logistics at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Papa Bartels, revealed this at the launch of the 4th SME Ghana Awards in Accra.
Ghana Awards, spearheaded by event management and concept development firm Imaginate, is aimed at acknowledging, celebrating and encouraging excellence among SMEs in Ghana. It is also to give them an opportunity to gain exposure and recognition for national and global expansion. SMEs are said to constitute over 90% of businesses registered in the country, but several factors have hindered their growth. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the 4th edition of the awards, Director of Value Chain and Logistics at the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Papa Bartels, expressed the government's commitment to growing the SME space. He shed more light on the SME policy the ministry is currently drafting.
SMEs in the country have challenges with technology, they have challenges with innovation, and then even the engineering aspect of business development. So the policy would seek to address some of these challenges within the area, and then also roll out programs that would shore up the development of SMEs in the country. We are looking at the business regulation environment, and that is an area that government is also looking at addressing, and it will call for dialogue with financial institutions and then the SMEs itself.
This year's SME Ghana Awards would see the introduction of a new category dubbed Promising Micro Company of the Future. Kwesi Ofori Jr. is project lead for the SME Ghana Awards.
The SME Ghana Awards is a unique platform made for SMEs by SMEs. We are our SMEs. And it is important we recognize the central role SMEs are playing in national development. Ghana has come to this far because of what our SMEs have contributed to our GDP so far. If you're looking at the baseline, they employ the chunk of the graduates that come out of school. They create the most job opportunities. For Ghana to say that we've grown or we've come a long way, it means that we need to support our SMEs, realize their full potential. Then the issue of job unemployment become a thing of the past.
On her part, head of Vodafone Business Solutions, headline sponsors for the event, Angela Mensah-Poku, highlighted the need for Ghanaian SMEs to be supported to grow and make an impact globally.
We need more sustainable, international, multinational Ghanaian companies. And I think by sponsoring the SME Ghana Awards, we're able to help grow those SMEs.
This year's award ceremony, which will be held on the 28th of September, is under the theme Sustaining Ghana's SMEs in a globally competitive market, and covering the pillars of profitable growth in a digitized business world.
It is undoubtedly the most watched soap opera currently. Indian series Kumkum Bhagya enjoys viewership across sex and age. The craze about the production appears to have been taken just beyond watching and discussing. People are actually taking advantage of the soap opera to make money. JoyNews' Kwesi Deborah explores the business side of Kumkum Bhagya besides TV commercials that come with airing the program on the screens.
This is the wax print section or in Twi in Tumejuso of the Kumasi Central Business District. It's the largest hub for selling assorted fabrics in Ghana. It's amazing how different patterns of wax prints get their names. This is Bunsu, named after one of the sub-chiefs in Kumasi. Adwa Kuto is one of the pioneer sellers. She says Bunsu is one of the best-selling cloths. There was this chief called Nana Kwesi Bunsu, she says. He wore it and it was nice on him. So we named the cloth after him.
The word ubiquitous refers to things such as bacteria because they're found everywhere. But can the sun be referred to as ubiquitous? In 12 hours' time it is done and everybody had stopped talking about it.
When someone commits a crime, he isn't dealt with, she says. Is that how Indians are? When Alia is caught, she is always released. Why? Abi is always retrogressing. I hate Abby. She's like a remote control. Pragya should express her sentiments. I like Bitali. From an ordinary soap opera to a household name. Indeed, like the Bunsu cloth, Kumkum Bhagya is everywhere. First, from embossment on novels to compact discs through polythene bags, the print has now found its way into the textile range. Haga Kusi has been selling Kumkum Bhagya cloth for 2 years. She receives the consignment from China. The cloth comes in 3 different patterns: Kumkum Bhagya, Abby Rock Star, and Pragya. 6 yards or half piece goes for 20 Ghana cedis. It's in different patterns, she says. Sales are very high during Christmas. I sell 3 full pieces every day. Francis Osekofo would have to stock it every week. It's cheap, so people can't stop buying it. Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
Kumkum Bhagya is indeed everywhere, and I guess we can never understand the craze. You're watching Business Live. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back.
Business Live today.
Welcome back to the program. Now, the Director of Development Research of Imani Ghana, Bright Simmons, says looking at government's media performance, it will miss most of its targets by close of year. He adds government has been slow at reforms at the Cocoa Board, the NHIS, among other agencies, which should have been implemented by now. Analyzing government's media performance, Bright Simmons knows government could have done more. He spoke with Joy Business at the EcoBank FinTech Challenge, and that's interview of the day.
Interview of the day.
The government is unlikely to meet its major fiscal and macroeconomic targets this year. That we know for a fact. That by September, it will be evident that we are going to miss some of the major targets that the government has set for itself on a macroeconomic level. So we are certainly not going to miss the targets on revenue mobilization, which you've already mentioned. It is very likely that the budget deficit will rise. We're probably going to miss the target also on the current account deficit. So these are, a lot of them are carryover problems from last 2 years. Some of the new big welfare projects that the government intends to embark upon this year, like free SHS, like expanding NHIS, a bunch of those types of services will involve additional expenditure. Then there are some rationalization that is also going on in the civil service, which may reduce the amount of outgoing commitments that the government has, and that will also help. But on the whole, I think the government has been rather conservative. There are a significant number of major program-related initiatives, not just simply macroeconomic, indicators, but program-related initiatives across the board. In the ports, for instance, rationalizing the port infrastructure, particularly in the case of compliance management, that it hasn't done. It could have done much faster than it should. There are problems around, for instance, cocoa board reforms that have to be undertaken to reduce the potential exposure to risk in that sector that the government could have undertaken.
Interview of the day.
And that's our program tonight. Thanks for watching Business Live. You can always keep up to date on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. You'd find the story about Angogo the Shantik cautioning about fake recruitments. My name is Daryl Kwao. We'll be back same time tomorrow.